I don't even know how to start this video. It's probably titled Absolutely Crazy. And honestly, I wasn't even sure if I was gonna make this video, but here I am, and I'm talking to you guys about some madness. So as much as I felt like this might be one of those TMI videos, and there's probably gonna be a lot of TMI moments throughout this, a lot of information is gonna be thrown your way, I thought, you know what? I open up to you guys about everything. I'm going to open up about this. And if by chance somebody watches this that's gone through it or is going through it or goes through it in the future, you're going to know that you're not alone. But it's probably unlikely because this is something that apparently is very rare and less than 1% of men go through this. So I just happen to be one of the lottery winners. I should probably go get some scratch offs and some other stuff and see if by chance is going to balance itself out. But what I found out just recently was that I have what they call a urethral stricture. It's basically where you have scar tissue in the thing that brings the pee from the body, and it slows your stream down. And some people have all sorts of issues. Some people have blood in the urine, pain, they can't start peeing. It's really, really hard for them. Luckily, I don't have any of those issues. It's just I pee slowly, and it started to bother me after a couple of months. And so I went and got checked. And today I actually just got an x-ray done. And that was one of the most inconvenient things that I have probably ever done. I didn't think it was going to be that bad because I just got a cystoscopy like a week ago or so, or 2 weeks ago. They put a camera and a cord, you know what I mean? This is where the TMI comes in, but they went in there and they found the stricture, and that's what led to me getting the x-ray. Now, because we're already giving too much information, I'm going to tell you guys a little bit more about this cystoscopy because it was one of the most uncomfortable situations that I've probably ever been in. So I had to go into this office, and the doctor, who's a urologist, is a female, and the woman who came in with her is obviously a female because I just called her a woman. But anyways, they're like, just drop your pants down to your ankles. And I had to sit up on this chair with the junk out, just right out in the open. And we're talking about YouTube and talking about different things, like nothing's going on. Like I'm not just sitting there with my dick out. Like, and it was very awkward. And then she basically took this thing, numbed me, which was a very weird feeling. And then she put the scope in, and as it goes in, water is like coming out the sides. I assume it's to keep it lubricated, but I'm getting wet all over. Like it just was a very weird and uncomfortable experience, but it didn't really hurt that much because it was numbed. Now today, when I went for the x-ray, it wasn't that at all. There was no numbing. He just took this like syringe thing and put the whole front of it, you know what I'm saying, in the place, and then he had to push contrast in there. And at first it just felt weird, but then as he put more in and it hit the stricture and there was resistance for it to get through, it started to hurt like really bad. I was not enjoying this clearly. And yeah, so they ended up showing me it. It's a small stricture and it looks like it's in the bulbar urethra, which is it's a positive. That's a positive from everything I can see. I mean, it's not a positive that this is happening at all, but the fact that it's there is a positive because technically the title of this video is probably going to be something like I'm getting dick surgery. I don't actually have to get dick surgery. They're going to basically go in the area that's between my balls and my asshole, if I'm not mistaken. And that's where they're going to enter me. So this is getting wild, and I'm sharing this with you guys because I felt like this is something you all wanted to hear. So they go in there, and then there's two ways of going about it, which I have not spoke with a surgeon yet, so I don't know how they're going to do it. But they either snip the part out and then connect the urethra together, or they snip the part out and then scrape from inside of my mouth and use my skin from my cheek to reconstruct the urethra. So I don't know which way we're going to go yet. The thing about this is because it happens to so little people, there's not many doctors that are actually skilled in this surgery. And it's a pretty serious surgery because it involves your junk. And so I've been researching all sorts of doctors. And luckily there's one that's like an hour and a half away who seems like he's done quite a few of them. And he's really highly rated in this kind of stuff. So that's my life right now. That's my life. Now they did give me another option. It's called a urethrotomy, but when I looked it up, it's got very low success rate. And the urologist was trying to tell me that, you know, it'd probably work out and be okay. But when I look it up, I literally could not find a single person that had a urethrotomy and it was just good for the rest of their life. Not a single person. Every single story I came across were people saying that a couple months to a couple of years later, they ended up having to go in to get the other surgery done, which is a urethroplasty, I believe is what it's called. And I'm like, I don't want to have to go in twice. If I'm going to do it, I may as well just get the urethroplasty and just get this shit over with. Because what the urethrotomy is they go in there with the scope again, you know, through the hole, and it basically cuts open the scar tissue. Now, For anybody that knows scar tissue, usually shit will grow back, and when it does, it grows back worse. So I'm seeing a lot of stories saying that it makes it even harder to do the urethroplasty because of the fact that you end up in a worse position when you keep doing urethrotomies. So I'm like, I don't really want to risk it. I'd rather just get it done properly the first time. It has a pretty high success rate, and then just not, be too worried about it anymore. But I'm a little upset. Why I gotta be the person that got this? The 1%, less than 1%. I think it says something like 200 out of every 100,000 males will have this happen to them. Like what? Why? What did I do? Now, apparently the way that this happens is it could be from an STI, which I don't even know why they call it an STI now. It used to be an STD, but I guess infection over disease. I don't know. Whatever. Now, when I was 18 or 19, I had chlamydia once, but it didn't even last for 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, because I went immediately in and I got checked and I got the medication and I got it fixed. Ever since then, I test myself every so often. I've not had anything. So it's not, I don't believe it's anything like that. And then the other likely thing would be like, if you had a catheter in before, which I never have, if you've had surgery or, something down there, which I never have, or if you've had like radiation from like trying to fix, I think prostate cancer or something, which again, I've never had. So the only other option is an injury. But I feel like if I hit myself down there somehow, like on a bike or, in some way in life, I would know it, right? Like, I feel like it'd be a bad enough injury to where I'd have been in a lot of pain for at least a couple of days. And then maybe it created scar tissue that started to build up. But maybe it doesn't have to be that bad of an injury. Maybe I hit that area down there somehow, some way, and I just don't remember, and it built up. But then I also saw that 30% of the strictures they have no idea how they got there. It just kind of happened. So I'm not only am I lucky that I'm one of the, less than 1% to have it, but I might also be in the 30% of people that just get it for no reason. I don't know. This is a lot of information I'm sending you guys. I still don't know if I'm going to upload this video. But again, in my mind, I'm like, listen, there might be one person out there, because there's not going to be many of you, but one person that may deal with this at some point in their life. And you could be like, you know what? I'm not alone. Duane went through that shit too. Let me watch his videos, because I will update you guys along the way. As of right now, like I said, I had the cystoscopy done, which is where they just kind of checked to see why I was peeing slow. They saw the stricture. Now I just went and got the x-ray done. And the next step is going to be talk to my urologist and probably try to get myself a referral, because she doesn't do the urethroplasty. So I need to get sent to some other doctor. And like I said, I really want to go to the guy that seems like he's pretty highly rated in it, because I will not let some person that does not know what they're doing go down there. It's not happening. Like I'm not risking having some long-term issues or anything like that, because that would be very, very devastating to my life. As you guys know, I'm a big fan of the cheeks. So I, say like, I can't have this happen, but, yeah, so that's my life as of right now. I assume the next update would be talking about the surgery itself, or, and from everything I see, I'm going to have a catheter for like a week or a couple of weeks after, which if anybody is unaware of what that is, I was too until this whole situation. But it's this thing that they put through the whole of your, again, too much information, I know. And I guess it goes and gets pushed all the way up through your urethra to your bladder. So that way you can pee out of it until you're healed. Like, what? And I've got to live with this for like, how am I going to sleep? How am I going to do anything? I'm just like, yo. A part of me is like, I'm just not going to deal with this at all, because I don't have a lot of the other issues other people have. Like, I'm not like leaving any urine in my bladder. I'm peeing everything out every time. I don't have problems starting. I have no pain. I have no blood. It literally just goes slow. But from what I've read, it will continually get worse if it doesn't get addressed. And at some point it will start to have those issues. And then you can have kidney issues, bladder issues. Like, it starts to cause other problems that I really don't want to deal with either. So I guess I've just kind of got to go through this, man up and let them cut open the place between my balls and my ass and just have at it. Little entrance. So just wanted to share some details with you guys. It seems like I'm always sharing stuff with you guys, like all the crazy shit. Like, I was misdiagnosed at one point. I have sleep apnea. The CPAP thing is going well. I wanted to do an update on that, but now we're talking about this. But I'm getting comfortable using it. I found a mask that's relatively comfortable for me. And so that's going well, but not too concerned with that anymore. A little bit more concerned with this. A little bit of an issue. But yeah, so it seems like it's in the bulbar urethra, which, like I said, again, is good. because when it's in the penile area, from some of the stories I read online, I read some horror stories. And it seems like the success rate can still be high, but it seems like there's a higher rate of there being other complications as well, which thankfully in this region, it doesn't seem like it's as prevalent. And it still does kind of depend on which surgery you go with, if they just reattach the urethra together or if they reconstruct it. And I think I'm going to go with the reconstruction part, I believe, from everything I've read, but I'm going to research a little bit more, get some more information. If anybody out there has actually gone through this, let me know. I'm doubting it, but never know. Somebody might know what I'm talking about and be like, shoot, I've been there. So help me, fill me in. Let me know I'm not alone in this. But anyways, that's just what I wanted to share with you guys. One of those TMI videos. I got you. Don't worry. Plenty more probably going to be coming. I'm sure more crazy shit will happen in my life, and I will share it right here because I know this is what you guys want. So I got you. All right. Take it easy.